Okay, hey guys, it's almost 5 o'clock. We're 45 minutes behind. Couple of technical issues, but uh, Gary Greco, an old client and friend, not old, but I mean, loyal friend, and been with us many years. I truly appreciate your resilience here and walk me through this. Apparently, sounds to me you know more about uh, go to Vemra than most people, including myself. So I appreciate that. Very quickly, we're going to go through some stuff. We did President. We did an update quickly on indicators. It's in the emails. You're going to see it. It's the 20th. We add, which is the CCI diff without CG for the pro side. Experts on first, then pro. So it'll be added up somewhere in here, probably here. Yeah, we'll push this thing on right in this third row. We've decided to do everything on Google. If you click on it on YouTube, you have a write up. Many thanks to Jason Gorham and Dennis Parmalee. And you see the write up. This way allows us, what we'll have one indicator at a time, so we can modify rather than have one big session. Then uh, 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 we out of the trouble that we used to be. Yes, Gary, you're absolutely right. You have made enough mistakes as a presenter. Yes. So I look to approach. Some is this done by AI, and then we clean it. Okay, that's what our game. I see it. It's scary. It's scary. Listen, we did these in one day. Never before we could do that. Never before. Now, was the descriptions perfect? No, they were fairly close, but you need to have somebody with the eye for it, watching it. Either not just trading, but also I'm the one who wrote it. Remember, I do both writing the code and trade. Very few people do that. I'm not sure that's a good idea, but the stress on you is heavy because of time. But we did it here. We're happy. Read risk manager. This is a good one. Presentation is on 18th of 18th of this September. It's in compliance right now, and so we'll see you there. Uh, Updates real quickly. Nancy took a much needed, and Pranay Patel. Uh, he's in Italy with his family. I don't know where Nancy was, but she took a couple of weeks, much needed vacation. So we're a little bit behind on the data. Yes, this data is behind, but she's going through that. Everything is recorded. She'll be posting that. We limit our orders to 5 orders, not 7, because we're taking a small scalping. It's difficult to replicate. But remember, the fills are yours. So they're already past that test of being replicated or not. Okay. So, but we want to just, because this is looking too good to be true. That's the problem. People don't buy it until they sit there, like Vic. You read what Vic said. Read Vic. Read this testimonial. We posted it. There's his email. You can contact him. It's a simple way. Very disciplined guy, extremely simple guy. You see a couple hours a day, and goes to his day job after that. Okay, he's up early. He's in East Coast time zone. Yeah, he's up early. He does his trades, couple of hours, and he goes to his regular job. He's a what do you call it? He's a realtor. So he's very happy. He's very active. He hardly makes mistakes, but he's doing his scalping, 2 or 3 points, and that's it. Boom, out. They do it 2 or 3 times. Of course, he must be using multiple contracts, and because in the afternoons now it's very difficult. It's summertime, so he's a right trader for the right product, and but there's 4, 5, 6 of them there. They're all making very happy times. You can tell from their commentary. And then within 2 hours, hey Mark, as to a specific, hey Mark, thank you. We gotta run. We'll see you tomorrow. Boom. So don't forget to take a look. And we have come up with a different pricing. Pricing rate is not changed for a month, but you come in smaller steps. 1 week billing, then 2 week billing, and then monthly. So you're not jumping out with a big outlay. You have like 3 weeks in stages. Same rate per month, but they are because we were past free trials. But this way you could see for about 135 for 1 week. Live, what this is doing. Then you do 270 for 2 weeks, and then the monthly. Okay. If you look at the data, it's massive. This is all built in. This is not easy to keep up. You don't find it. You don't find a 2.7 profit factor that often. Yeah. And these are all your trades. Very stable. Now we've had sometimes it goes a little bit higher because when things line up with the market. Market has been a little bit wishy-washy, but he's done a good job. 71%. I mean, this is a tough one. Past 65, you got gold. We're dealing with gold. Yeah. There's gold nuggets in front of you. What you need is a vacuum. The gold nuggets are in front of you in the vacuum when you get past 65. It's 71. And there's a whole detail. Now, we do post it. We're going to post it again on the blog. Blog is being used because of SEO we're doing. And you'll see these are lined up and cleaned up. There are a lot more posts are going there. The blog post changed. You want to enter to blog. Do not use .net. Used to be hamzylinux.net. It's out. What you do is you go through this link right there. HA blog, it takes you there. Sorry about this. This is from Ninja. They want what do you call it? Every page or whatever you can. They want the disclaimer. Fine, I don't care. That's fine anyway. Anyhow, anything else? Nothing. Let's go to econ data. All right. Today we had new home sales came in line, pretty much, but right at the edge of the range. So, but actually, shouldn't say in line. It's slightly better than expected, right at the edge of the consensus range. That's the way I look at it. I usually see where does this number falls there after it comes out, and then I look at what the market is doing with that number. Two things: what was the expectation? Where the number came? That's step one. Number two, what the market did with that expected result that came in. Dallas Fed, not good. Dallas Fed, not good. Yeah, we are slowing down, guys. This is just a fact. But you're not going to be moving in unison. You're going to get one market a little bit better, one market a little bit worse. You're going to have some data that's not going to fill into the patterns you want. But that's the nature of this potential trend change. Why? We're going to slow down. That's what the rates are low. That's what market rallies. Market rallies ahead. I thought we're going to have problems. Well, we have bigger problems now. That's why Fed has to come in. Probably you're going to see a quarter here. Probably. Okay, what else here? These are the auctions. Tomorrow, durable goods, very important, 8:30. Do not miss. If you trade with us, you need to be in early. Okay? And you could see, oh, wow, look at that. You could see what's going on. So, yeah, capitalization, CapEx is slowing down too. Maybe it's going to pick up. Key numbers tomorrow, very important, 8:30. Market speaking, big deal. Case-Shiller on home prices. I want to look at that. Top 20 markets. Consumer confidence. This is conference board. Okay, not sentiment. Confidence. Not U of Michigan. Okay, let's see where we are. We have ticked down. I think we're going to tick down here too. If we're near that 94, watch out. It's good for interest rates. Market even may rally. Okay. Yeah, but usually takes, if you read Marty Zwig's book, that was my first thing I did, one of my first indicators. You do advanced decline line, you plot that. Then you do decision of the Fed. The third rate decline by the Fed, the third one of arrangement. And we're up there maybe, we're not down below at zero. Now we're at 4% area. The third one is end of the road. The market is going to rotate. Why? Right now the market will rally. Why? Because rates are coming down. It's going to help reduce interest expense. Okay, put your financial analyst hat on. Look at the balance sheet impact. Look at the first income statement and the balance sheet impact. At the margin, you're going to have a savings and interest rate right now, interest expense. By a third one, you have a bigger offset in sales. Yes, the top line is not dropping, and that's all she wrote happens. So that could be probably January, February, and by then, if we're going that route, is probably the gimmicks are not working, and tariffs are going to take a toll. That's tariffs will do. Tariff is an indirect tax, and this one is again, as I said last time, this was not authorized by taxing body, which is what the Congress. That's still in the courts. If they, as I expected, for them to come in and say, "Hey, you can't change the Constitution. You took an oath. This is illegal." Then you may have a melt up because all of this has to go away, all the tariffs, and then the market really go and melt up. So it's a tough dilemma going forward. It's not black and white, but if we continue with this to be still in the challenge in the court and numbers dropping in terms of economic data, yes, then we'll set up on the downside. For the time being, let's discuss the trade. I'm going to put a trade on this week into, or maybe right after Labor Day, but it would be for 60 days at least with a bias to the downside. And that's my last short I've tried. I've tried plenty of time this year. I've been wrong plenty of time, but that happens every once in a while. You're out of tune in terms of the cycle. And but it's very, very toppy. It's very tired. Okay, let's see. What else do we have this week? GDP on Thursday. Wednesday should be light. Yes, Wednesday is light. I don't look at EAI. GDP, jobless claims. Now, there's one exogenous issue: Israel and Iran. We don't know what's going to happen. The weather has very little impact here, Putin stuff. But why? Simple. Ukraine doesn't have oil. I mean, they perhaps have some for their own use, but they are big, heavy in atomic energy. But Iran and what's happening with Israel and the whole area there, and the Gulf of, the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, that's where the problem is. If you go to YouTube, there are programs that's created here through sources from Iran. These are pretty decent analysts. Backgrounds are highly educated. We taught them here. There's analysis that says that Israel is going for a decapitation strike shortly. If that happens, Iran will be freed after 45 years, man. Anyhow, yeah, my dad used to work for a son-in-law of the Shah. His father was the one with the coup d'etat of 1953, General Zahedi. He was the ambassador. He always used to beg to me, "Barry, please come to Iran. We need you." I said, "Do what?" And then, of course, the revolution happened. So 45 years I've been locked out, but I'm not gonna go back. No, I'm getting the technology of here, but at least visit the old country. But maybe, I don't know. A lot of people will go back though. If there are some investments in Iran, you get a lot of educated people and highly motivated. An old country goes back 37 centuries, right between Moses and Jesus is where the country started. So, and it's very geopolitically important. Warm waters of Gulf and all that oil that goes through 20% of the oil. So we'll see. But that's exogenous news that could impact anything we're doing. That's unknown. I watched that at night a little bit, just maybe half an hour of a YouTube stuff that they post, and there's a huge followership on that stuff. So if I see a sense of something, then we have to be careful. But that could have a spike on oil prices. Anyhow, this is a big number to look at. This number is going exactly the wrong way. Trump is not happy about this, but you cannot change the trade with tariffs. Yeah, I mean trade deficit. That was his goal. I understand it's a noble goal, but he doesn't understand economics. That you cannot change that. So, I mean, I have a relationship with my haircut person. I go there, she cuts my hair, I pay her. It doesn't mean that she could ever afford buying something from me. I have nothing to sell to her that she needs. I need a haircut from her, $40, big deal. The stuff I sell, you need to have $1 million to come in. So does it mean I have to change the tariff on her? It doesn't work like that. Yeah. The problem is we'll never get there. For example, give you an example. Vietnam. Why would Vietnam buy anything from us in size? They don't have the per capita net worth. We are consumerism. We spend a lot of stuff, and we want the cheapest one, cheapest source. Let the capitalism figure it out, not the state capitalism. Free market. So we will find the cheapest producer, as long as it's safe, like FDA stuff and EPA stuff in manufacturing. You bring it here. But if you try to force it, who knows what comes in there? What other issues we're introducing? And it's got to take time. So for time being, in between, you have higher tariffs, which is the direct income tax, which you didn't vote for. Okay, that's what the courts have to make a discussion on that, and it's very clear. The Constitution very clear says it's with the government, with them in the Congress, not the executive branch or the legislative branch. I'm saying the judiciary. So again, as we discussed last Wednesday, or I wasn't there. I'm saying 2 weeks before that. If you get a rip off, a peel off of the tariffs by court system, and I think this is going to be black and white. It's the Constitution. I don't think Supreme Court is going to vote for him. They're going to vote what they are, and already there's a lot of heat on them for what they did on the what do you call it, on the liability crap, which I've never heard of. We're not a third world country. We don't want to be run by what do you call it? What's his name? Dr. Goebbels, also known as Hannity. We don't want to run by these guys. This is not 1933. Come on. So if we go back to constitutional presidency, tariffs will go away. And then if we're this resilient, numbers are still going good, even though we're a little bit on a lower expectation. But we will have a blow off. And that maybe set up a big opportunity to cash out and then a short downward because it will be a blowout. Now, we almost got that Friday too. Let's get into that here. This was a fairly huge, did not punch through the high. You could see the top line is that one that creates the high of the day. I mean, I'm saying all-time high. It is if you look at it, it's just a broken M. So the issue is when. But this week, most likely, maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Watch out your email. I'm going to put this spread on long duration. So our time is slice per day of the theta is low. Okay, so I'll work on that. Things are quiet. We can get a good position in. While we're still up there, we want to be up here. As a matter of fact, on Wednesday, Thursday, I was a little bit disappointed where we were because we had drifted down. Is it time to get in? Yes, yes, yes. I'm running behind. And then Friday was that Christmas is here. Just cleaned out all those shorts. And now look, we took some of it off today because the excess. That was excessive move on Friday. And you got to give some of it back. We had just too many longs up here. Market goes to create the most damage. You got to understand that. So, and you could see divergence. On the McClellan Australia, you could see it on the Bretos. Why are we that high up if it's any good, but we don't get an indicator signal? So it's overloaded. It's tired. It's about to. Now, part of it also is we don't have much volume. Part of it says you may have to wait to go past next Monday. But here's the dilemma. I mean, put something on, and then or put it on the second or third. We'll see. Of next week of September. So that's where we are. Rollover is going to happen on the contract. Where's our rollover? Okay, rollover here is going to happen. Now it's driven by exchange. You know that. So it's 25. It's going to happen on the 15th, September 15th. We're going to roll over. Okay. By the way, Orb is doing very, very well. Okay. We posted the new backtest results, and we're in the process of activating it for people to use it, but not locally as a striker like we did a couple of years ago. But this is a much better platform. We haven't made any changes in 1 year. It's held up 1 year. Why? Chaos, high volatility, of course, indirectly through incompetence, but the chaos will make this thing work really well. Yeah, so it's doing pretty well. He made money today too. He made a loss and then gained it back plus a tiny bit extra. Wasn't a big day, but it's had some days that have been very, very interesting. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the start for fall to come in. They'll be probably we're on striker.com after I have a chat with them. They did a great job last time. It's just that we went through a transition out of the Fed tightening, and we had way too many people. So we had to change the way we process the data. It was an operational issue. But all of those are done. Those were done in 23. We've been running. We haven't made any changes in 24. Has kept it up very nicely every day. It's offered in the chat room. Here, you could see the results. You could see actually, this is what I look at. Okay, and it's a. I believe this is for 6 months. Yeah, you can't go back because it's different environments. So this is you gotta stay with this. Now we've got such that it only needs to be updated every 3 months, and because of contract, because rollover, you have to. So the rollover has to be built in. So that's what we will be doing. For the add NQ, this is for backtest. We take the end results, the optimal. It's a solution space. Okay, if you think of it this way, if you take it from a OR point of view, operational research, you know, multi-dimensional solution space. It's not 2 or 3-dimensional. It's multi-dimensional. Okay. Once you get that done, you go to back to what we had on the individual symbol that's ahead and keep track of the contract and all that. So we'll stay in touch with us if you want. It's just fine. My suggestion at the beginning is please watch Trade MNQ first. The people jump in. Oh, I'm paying this. I want to do that. No. Please look for winners. Don't worry about what you pay. Make sure you're making money first, and then you can ease into it from retained earnings. The smartest people I had are some of my own tribe, okay, overseas, in England, Europe, and Germany, in actually British Columbia. They only added from the winners. One of them took $30,000 account from September. No, from August he went in at 30,000. By December she had 160,000. She played the leverage, and then she came to me and said, "I'm getting out." I didn't tell her. She did. I said, "That is because," he goes, "the odds. I make too much money. Chance of making it again is low. I probably will give it back. I don't want to do that." Think about it. Anti-logic. So fear and greed. Very smart. Let's go through some charts here, guys. I think we did go through timer effectively. This is also bad news right there. It's not keeping up. The pressure on the techs are heavy. It's not keeping up. Not making new lows. Obviously, divergence is a big signal there. Yeah, we're coming back up a tad here. It's holding, but I think it's the last stretch. We have been waiting for this for a long time. We have tried a couple of times, more than a couple of times. I think a couple of winners and a couple of losers in terms of the actual trade. I'm losing with Timer Digest, but they're not ranking anybody. But I am losing with them. I keep track of it. I do. But I'm trying to make sure we get a trade for you guys. Can I go long here? If we see a melt up, yeah, we have to. Otherwise, we've already gone too far. So do not be surprised if you get an email from us overnight saying we switched it. Yeah, I can't send it past midnight, so it's going to be early in the evening. But it's an imperfect picture. I don't know what's going to do tomorrow. I mean, I can according to trade session. Time Digest. I can change my bias now, and it'll give you the close. But past midnight, they won't. I have to wait for tomorrow's close, and that's the rules. That's fine. But that applies to everybody in that realm. So that's how I've been programmed over the years. So I'm going to stick with the rules. I'm not going to make the rules to fit me because then they kick you out. And I don't want to be part of that. I want to do whatever others are subject to. Okay, we made new lows on this ratio. We have talked about that. Maybe we don't have time sometimes to talk about it. I know Siegfried, a couple of times you had questions. This ratio of equal weighted to market cap weighted, a new ones is we make a new high or new low. Either one, we make a ratio low, and that got confirmed here. So somewhere there may be an exhaustion, as you could see. Actually, hold on. Yeah, the equal weighted looks a little bit healthier, a little bit. The scale is not the scale. That's the scale, equal weighted. This is market cap adjusted. This is the true. To me, this is the true index of the, especially SPX, because it's 80% U.S. equity. This is the market, not Dow. Dow's old. Dow's abacus. Okay, here's your canaries. Okay, we're still having problems, guys. We have still haven't gone high enough yet. On the Russell, good representation for SM for what do you call it for NDX. Yeah, it's struggling a little bit because of probably one name, Nvidia. We've gone too far, way too far. Yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about Bitcoin because it's a different animal, and you can see what's happening with MSRT. MSRT down 17 here, guys. Yeah, I've got a bunch of friends in there. Over the weekend, I told them, get the F out. No, Farry, you're too pessimistic. Okay, we'll see. It's not pessimistic or optimistic. You got to look at a chart. You know, sometimes it's screaming at you. Don't be delusional. I'm sorry, some of these guys are in the Bitcoin world are delusional. But anyhow. Okay, SQ. Let's go to SQ. No signal here. Now, remember, we're going to post these things. So what do you want to do? Very simple. Make sure you are keep an eye on the blog because this is our mainstay. We're slowly making those changes. There are more changes coming in today. My dear friend Jeffrey Lin, who is now relocated and married in Shanghai, is helping me with some of the stuff. He's the best social media program I ever known. Some of you guys probably know him. The what do you call it? The uh, something boy we used to call him. He's got some immune system issues. There was a time you couldn't shake his hand. Yeah. I mean, he would come to meetings with the surgical gloves. Yeah. Interesting character. Very resilient. Very resilient. Very practical. Very tough character, but he's done very well. So he helped me quite a bit, put things together. We brought Admiral back in a new capacity for the ES. Peter Cook is going to go there. This is just Tico standing in. My dear friend Shobin, you all know Jason. Jeffrey, I haven't heard from him much. Phil, I think, is just managing some real estate for Daddy. Dave Miller is still up in, I talked to him the other day, in Seattle, probably the best biotech guy I know. Frank Barbera, XAU. Gold and silver, no ways above that. Tim Howard, Wyckoff method. So we preserve all of that. We're using some folks from New Delhi, India to improve. So we're going to see more charts there, a little bit more room to explain than we have in Twitter. And then it shows up in Twitter. Within 5 minutes, it automatically does that. Jeffrey Lynn did. So if you're watching the Twitter or your blog, you get a lot more content. We're making a commitment to do that slowly. Of course, I'm not going to be the only one. Peter is going to do that. Mark Sposito will do that. Just I don't have the time to edit everything, but he would do that. Maybe even Dennis Palmer. Just not new technologies. No, stuff we do, but an original work. We're not into just posting something from somebody else. We have to give at least a little commentary ourselves. So there's a value added. Let's go to treasuries. Okay. This is the story, guys. That's it. That's it. We are slowing down. Rates are going to come down. Yeah. Finally. Why? You look, keep a track of global trade. That tells you. Tariffs are not going to change the global trade. Yeah. We just, the per capita income of Vietnam will never get to close to U.S. So we will always have a deficit with them. We're going to buy more from them than they're going to buy from us because they don't have the asset base that we have. They don't have our homes, our cars, our roadways, our energy resources, our military, all that. The only exception, and God forbid that happens, is that I'm not I'm atheist, as you know. I have too much uh, uh, um, electromagnetic wave courses. Yeah, especially the uh, um, James Maxwell equations, which was led to what Einstein did, which led to what they call it did. Robert Poppy, Robert Oppenheimer. Oppie, I'm saying Oppie did. Robert Oppenheimer. But if you go back to 1850 and you study that, so I can't say God forbid, that's not true. But universe will forbid. It's the reserve currency. That could be out of a Silk Road problem with China and Russia. So that's what I worry about. Um, why is this thing? This is off, guys. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, I mean April. There we go. There you go. We're gonna put it in this format. This is May. May. This is also too much. Let me correct that. There you go. So we see everything in that format. Is it 6-2 or 6? I see. Sorry, I see what I've done. My bad. So actually, let's go there. We go here. Boom, boom. Okay. One more. No. And then this one I need to do one more. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, we gotta see March here. We gotta see the same time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. There you go. All right, let me save this. Sorry. Okay. The point is, if you look at the all-time highs, we're near up there. But because of slowdown, GDP data, durable goods, all of these are data points. You're gonna see, yeah, the rates probably will come down. Why? Look at the non-farm. Look at the data. There were two huge write-downs. Now, again, please understand how BLS works. There's no one person in charge by design. So you cannot influence that. There are at least 40 people involved. So by firing the wrong guy because you don't like the results, you're not solving anything. Okay, as a matter of fact, they become a little bit more resilient to make sure they do a good job and give them good numbers and let the chips fall where it won't. BLS is one of the best physical shops we have in the government, probably one of the best, if not the best, and the whole world counts on that. So the numbers there, the write-downs showed that we have a problem. We did. I read the adjustments. The adjustment says we have a problem, and there's going to be another once a year they do. This is not has to do with who's in it. It has nothing to do with election. They have done it every year. Please understand the history of BLS. I'm a foreigner. I was born away, but this is my adopted country. I learned. You can learn too. Don't put your head in the sand. Read the data. Okay, very low here, guys. I don't know how much lower we're going to get on the VIX. That's just probably most likely we're going to ease up. It's going to probably pop. So we want to take advantage of that. Now, if we're wrong, look at the downside. Yes, we're going to have a spread on. The spread is small, and we're going to do it longer duration so that our per data, because I want to cover ourselves into end of October. So at least about a 2 months thing. But you guys are a membership, you'll see the emails. I will give you heads up. We always give you a heads up saying we have a trade coming. Admiral Tico is very good at it. Make sure you follow Admiral Tico. Those of you who don't know Admiral Tico, well, I don't know what to tell you. You know, Siegfried, what do you tell them to people who don't understand Admiral Tico? What can we tell them? You know, you gotta follow Admiral. There we go. Here's our Admiral Tico. Yeah, he's pissed. We can't fight duck eggs anymore, guys. They went on a strike. The duck eggs is pissed. But anyhow, uh, we'll probably alert you here first, okay? And to say, hey, this is today's the trade, or this hour will be a trade. So you're not all of a sudden getting an email you missed it or you were busy. We'll tell you a couple of times in advance before the actual trade. Why? Because we have to pace ourselves, our timing here. Larry's up and down. This is a recent one. No signal, except Friday. Friday was way up there. Yeah. So this was a given. Of course, you saw that what do you call it said. Uh, Peter Cook. We have made Peter Cook commentary open to everybody. Creates a lot of discussion. Shows what caliber of people work here and why. No signal other than this because he went over 90. Okay. I stayed up there because that news was so huge. I was in this trade about here. I was there maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes total. It exploded. Remember, I'm trading in Q. Leverage is 460 to 1. not 4.6. It's 460 by 1. Why? Look at the scale. It's $20 and traded today at, hold on, we traded today at 23,425. So that times 20. 460, 490, yeah, something like that. What is it? 461 maybe? 23,425 times 20. 468, 500. Holy shit. Yeah. I'm sorry. Pardon my French. 468 to 1. So you put a half a million, let's say put a 100,000 in, you're trading 100,000. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. 468 to 1. I'm sorry, times 100,000. Your position, if you play all of it, which I do not ever tell you to do, I never do, on 100,000, your position is $46 million notional. That's the equivalent of a stock trade, stock account, a stock money. He's got 1 year sitting pretty. Yeah. Yes, I will. But no, but Siegfried, they're cutting him off from my, what do you call it, human food, because he's had too much of it. It's too much rich for him, for his system. He's getting old too. He's 10 years old. He's halfway through his life. SP1 Momo. Okay. This has been a challenge to do it on Ninja. Okay. But we're going to get there. I got a couple of really good guys with Ninja, both on the programming, video, practicality, debugging. The team is good. And so, including the system here. We're on sell, huh? Hold on. Are we? Yeah. Interesting. We're on sell and sell. Sell on the daily. No, sell and buy. This is a buy. Recently went to a buy, and now I got to sell here. Okay. This is rare. We don't get signals that often. With actually, more rare than buying is the selling. So we got to those signals there. Very neutral, guys. No signal. This is the problem. We're getting very neutral readings on a daily chart of SPX for Momo. And you can see SP1, it's near 0 sigma. And this is just barely below 0. This is not a signal to trade. This is a signal to drink more coffee. Now, it's the summertime. Maybe more mint julep if you're from the South. I grew up with a bunch of kids from the South. His favorite food is, what do you call it? GI food. Medicated. Yeah. He's under total, including his treats. I had to buy him some treats that are also GI, gastrointestinal adjusted. So he's got to do this for about, at least probably a year. For 9 years, he's ate whatever he wants. Yeah, listen, he would have, because remember, he's got his credit cards. Flown in lobster tail from South Africa. This little 9-pounder or 10-pound, it's better than most people I know, including yours truly. Yeah. So, Flip, nothing here yet, guys. I got to work on this. I'm so behind with everything else. We've had a little bit of hardware issues, but we rectified that. Software is done basically. We have presentations coming up. Also, summertime. So, but I've got to get to this. I've got a couple other things. We are signing up another group for funding you if you want to have a funder with a low high end. I'm going to get low fees. I'm getting that set up over the week. Today, maybe tomorrow. Gonna get that in. It's Profit Taker something, and I may even test one myself as a test. I don't need it, but I'm gonna test a little one just to see because I think I should know. I know there were some questions about Apex before. I never tested. I just gave it to you guys. That one is running good now, no problem. But I think as part of due diligence, you should do something yourself before you recommend to others. Just like trading, you have to take the trade yourself if you're telling others to do it. Same thing here. So we'll work on that too for you. And I'll have a little bit more time. Yeah, I think we're getting a point. A lot of our programming is getting done. Over the weekend, we made some really good strides. As you do that, let's give you more free time to be creative. The trades, this you don't worry. Okay, this is where we are now. PMT stuff. This is a chart you get as a part of PMT. This is the way I track it. Now it's blank because those are expired because of the new guy put the new symbol. Oh no, not there. Hold on. Yeah, we gotta put in this one. We gotta put the new trades in. The two because we plot the SPX, we apply the SPY. Why do we do that? Because I keep track of it keeps track of my bid ask because bid ask is not kept. I created here myself. So you start this early in the morning and tells you what the bid ask looks like. Yeah, it's a very interesting way we've done that. So again, you gotta have good programmers. It pays for itself, and that's how we manage it daily. We watch what's going on. If it gets into trouble, we have to pull the trigger. But the way we trigger it, the stop as a function of here, I'll show you what I mean. As a function or instruction to you, the PMT, because of this number, this box. The way we structure it this way, which is a common for basic and pro. This is a PMT, this is basic, this is a pro. We give you this one. Depending on your access, the software knows what to show. Many thanks to Larry and Nancy. But the way we pick these levels is such that it will allow you to practically test up to 50%, maybe a little bit less, and you're out if it doesn't work. But if it goes your way, then it explodes, and that's where the promise of an option is. Okay, so all right, let's go to TD. Okay, again, no signal here, and look what happened Friday. Nothing. That's another failure. We make a move like that, it doesn't go up. We have all the works saying that. Rendezvous is coming. This is our stock RSI. You know we have that in Ninja also. We programmed that. Ninja has its own. I understand that. I don't know how accurate that is. I like mine because ours is goes through a number of filters. Has worked here, worked there, and I have the book. I got two chart changes book. Okay, this I don't know if we're gonna have that. We have to discuss it because I want to get all of this done in the Ninja. This spread. This is a spread of 90 days. We're long. Okay, you see this? This is 0. Yeah. Q is gone. So let's dump the Q. Let's go and save it right now before we forget. That's my biggest problem. I forget. There's a transaction. I forget. So we're long U and short Z. So long September, short this December, and then pretty soon, we're probably in a week and a half, we'll be rolling over into V contract, which is October, and then this one we're going to go and add F F25s, F26. That's coming up. That's January. F is January. Remember, these are monthly, so they roll over. We look at the spread. The spread is -4.6. It basically says we're way up there. Hello. That's too high up. It's way too high up. It's just screaming. You got to short me. So the issues, time to expiration. So the theta over the weekend, long weekend. And do we find a decent liquidity on both legs? The problem with sometimes you get on the option chain is that you're not exactly at the most popular one, and those could have a delay on the way out. You have to think about. You have to look at liquidity when you get out, not just getting in. Getting pregnant is easy. Once you're, and you could come in and become semi-pregnant first, but you got to raise that kid. So getting out is important. You got to look at those spreads. Depending on what we're going to find, we'll pick one for you. We're not trying to throw you another trade. We'll try to do a decent job on what that possibility looks like. The volume is low, summertime. That throws monkey range, but we'll try to find it. Something I'll try to do this week. If not, next week definitely we'll have a trade because that's 60 days I want to be in September and October. Seasonality, of course. Read my book, Chapter 8, not by me, by Phil Erlanger, The King of Seasonality. This is it. And I'm thinking with everything else going on, again, we emphasized last session too, last PMT session, with Iran, with Israel, with the stuff with Putin, with the tariffs, with the Fed. It's almost a perfect storm. Okay, I'm not worried about immigration. That stuff has nothing to do with the market. Yeah, it'll bring down a little bit, cleanse the system. Yeah, we'll probably get a little bit higher priced groceries because that's what I'm being told. Like in California, there's nobody to pick up the the food that we eat that's made there. They run away. So yeah, that'll put some pressures on. And there are tariffs extra on Mexico. So the tariff stuff will press us down. We'll get some adjustment. I'm impressed. So far, there's resilience better than we expected. But it just started. Yeah, I think the time to see the impact, if my econ data over the years back makes sense, is probably, or we can experience, probably let's say by January. By January, we would have a very good, realistic, robust data. Whether the data is good or bad, I'm not taking that position. I'm just saying by then, the data is reliable. And whatever that data shows is what we have to do. It can go either way, but most likely it's a indirect tax that nobody voted for. So yeah, so it's going to be a lot of possibly court issues too. All right, I'm done there. Let's go to our swing chart, and we got to do what we always do. Hold on, this one. We're going to go through these, and we're not through the high beta. We're going to go to market cap. There you go. So I'm going to go down these. As I click, it changes from this screen. It changes on that, and we go there. So let's see. Okay, NVIDIA, number one stock, value 4.4 trillion. Yeah, this is what's keeping everything up. Why? Market cap. Price is up, number of shares is up. So, or has been up because they've just done well. Plus, remember, up here, some other clients, some of them, they exercise. So you have outstanding a little bit bigger, not much. What's moving it is the X minus S. It's the actual alpha move there on the stock. But also you get that more and more people get vested. Yeah, of course, the internal people, they know what's going on, and the stock is directing in that. Yeah, this is what happens. They're contracted here big time. They expanded their uptime. It's called capitalism. The edge of the knife on your neck is sharp. Yeah, this is the life we've chosen. Don't complain. So, um, I would not touch it either way right now. I'll take a pause. Too high to go long, and too strong of a company to try to short. So I would look at short interest, probably is higher than normal, but I wouldn't touch NVIDIA right now. Yeah, the move was several months ago. Now it's a little bit exhausted. If you want to do a little scalp, be my guest, but then you got to do options and you do a spread. So you do like a call spread or put spread, just a short term, and you get out and buy like 2 weeks. Either you're right or wrong, but you're not in big. You're not in big time. So you're not digging a big hole in front of yourself. That's the objective. Watch the size of the hole you're digging. That's what I'm trying to say. See, I'm like, how are you? Okay. So let's go to Microsoft, one of my favorite companies. Probably not a bad idea to nibble a little bit if we stop dropping. I just don't know if we're going to do or not. But look where we are at 50. But if, let's say, if the courts come in on the tariffs, calling them illegal, this one of the stocks is going to really, really fly. It'll take this number out in a hurry, within a day. So that's the stock. But if we're going to drift down, because it's a big part of the index, right? Remember? Albert Malkiel. I'm sorry, Burton. Burton Malkiel, my professor at Princeton. Understand the index you're trading. Understand its construct. Okay. Then this says, no, 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 watch out. Because it's going to go down with it too. It's a big component of that. So, what time is this now? Murray, it's 6 o'clock. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Apple. We're going down by market cap. Apple. Yeah, I don't want to touch Apple here. Yeah, I don't know what he did. It didn't make sense. They're kissing ass. State capitalism doesn't work. Same thing with on Intel, on Apple. Like now he could tell Apple, you got to buy chips from Intel. The reason we're so strong in this country is free market and capitalism. You 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 reward the winners and you punish the losers. And in the race for technology, listen, I worked on a couple of very interesting projects in the past. 286, yeah. But my brother designed was the first 286 machine. Yeah, I have pictures. It was cover of LA Times back in '87. Not '87. I'm sorry, '83. '83. Yeah. He wasn't even out of college, high school. He had not graduated. The day of graduation, he didn't go. My parents were pissed. LA Times reporters were in for interview and pictures and all that. So technology, you just can't tell the government cannot pick. Government can support the technology, but they make mistakes too. Remember that the solar thing they did with Obama? What a disaster that was. You just can't only add so much. Yeah, and then sometimes it works well. Look at SpaceX. Look at what do you call it? Tesla. Those are beneficiary of the government. So for new technologies, we wouldn't have GPS. We wouldn't have internet, all that. So anyhow, I just don't like state capitalism, especially a product in the consumer business. So I can see you doing a B2 or B21. You have one customer. Everything is classified. That's different. This is a totally different animal. Let's go to Google. Google isn't. I like Google. I like Google. Google is too good. A good retest there on the central line. I like Google here. Breakout, yeah. Remember Bill O'Neill? Growth companies, you keep buying the tops. Yeah. This is in the channel on the weekly. Take a look. This is the power of these indicators. They're in the channel. Start using them. You should be going through charts on the weekends, like Sunday night. Forget 60 minutes. Sit down, go through your charts. Charts don't lie. Politicians do. Let's go to Amazon. Amazon, see, that's a different pattern now. Yeah. Amazon, watch, wait. A little bit too early, maybe too late. This was a big drop. Yeah, it has to find itself. It has lost its composure. Meta, same, same. But um, but remember, this is really more software than anything else. So you could probably have a better chance. Right now, between Meta and Amazon, I'll put the money on Meta. Avgo, RegFT, my brother works for Corey, the one with the VPN. Avgo, Broadcom, right? Okay. Out of Orange County, a lot of bright people. They do a lot of stuff in communication, a lot of microcontrollers, and that's what my brother does. He does software for microcontrollers. Why? Because software alone can't do it. It's too slow. You have to do it inside the hardware. And Corey knows hardware. As I said, he did the first 286. VPN is his name. Yeah. So the patent for VPN is his name. Look up Corey Hamze. Hamzeh. Not EI, but yes. Because of password difference. Yeah, he's my younger brother. Very, very, very smart cookie. Yeah. Up there in IQ. Very up there. He's embarrassingly up there. I can't read the books he reads. I can't. In math and physics, I cannot. Yeah. Bless him. He changed our world. Yeah. And he was about to quit. He was so pissed off on that VPN project. He was going to quit. I told him, no, 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 no. No, you're going to change our world, Corey. We have to move money on the internet. We couldn't without that because you have no HTTPS, which creates a tunnel link. So, yeah, if you look it up, Corey Hamze, you see his name first at top of the patent list. Yeah. He was not the only one person, but yeah. He did the software end of it. So, what did we do, Tesla? Coming back, maybe? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I mean, he's gotten beaten up here. A couple of retest failures, price discovery, and now it's switching to the other side. I think you could go and see about 413, 420, 415 area. It could go up there, so I would take a look at that. First time I've been more happier with Tesla than before. Okay, Netflix. Yeah. We got ahead of ourselves. Here, remember where it was? Yeah. Okay. I'll watch this too. But that's another one. Streaming is good, guys. Entertainment is always good. Listen, you can watch a movie now, okay, for less than half the price of a popcorn. Think about this. I mean, over the weekend, I forgot what night he was acting up, and I held him. I said, "Let's go and watch a movie together." And he's such a good kid. He just sits on my leg and falls asleep. I think for like $4, we watched each for one each. We watched two or three full blown, you know, movies. 60. I mean, no, 75-inch with the surround sound. Okay, comfortable. And it cost us like uh, four, $3.99 times two, $8. Okay, for two movies. As I said, you can't get popcorn for that these days at the theater. You got to drive there, park, all that crap. So no, I like it. And these are the king of streamers. Go with always one thing I learned from Bill Lucas, the guy who owned Carnation and sold it to Nestle, head of a board of governors of Princeton. He said, understand understand standardization, stay with the standard, and grow with the standard. Don't go to the next problem where that's the solution, unless it's very primitive. It's early part of a technology. But as technology gets mature, you want to stay with the standards. You're not going to make the standard. Market does. You follow the standard. And in that space, it's Netflix for streaming. Costco. Uh, it's not the Costco I liked, right? You know all this period. So we're going sideways. I will defer my judgment here. Yeah, this is not it. This is not it. Okay, this is another one. Now, these guys have really grown. Fastest company in the Nasdaq 100 last year. Really grown. Palantir. Uh, I wonder how much help they're getting because of their bias, political bias. But they're very deep in Department of Defense stuff, and you never know. I mean, if you think game was rigged before, it's never been rigged like this. So that's what scares me. I'd rather have a free marketplace to reward and punish the winners and losers respectively. So this could be a surprise. It could be a good one. So far, the earnings are very good. Now, here's the thing. Look on Plantier is a good one. I usually try to watch. Let me listen to Bloomberg when I'm driving. Uh, the what do you call it? The what's the market cap is? Market cap is 370 billion right now, as of today. 370 billion right here. Well, right there. Palantir, this is the market cap. 370, okay? I think the sales were 3 billion. Was it 3 billion they said? I don't know. What's the sales on the Palantir? It was something like 100 to 1. We can ask, well, let's ask. I changed my thing to chat GPT, okay? Uh, what's the, what is PLTR sales? Most recent. Most recent quarter. Yeah. Let's see what we get. Mhm. That's the stock. I know that. And that answers my question. Okay. 1 billion in revenue. That's it. 1 billion in revenue. Okay, for the quarter. So 4 billion for the year. Let's say simple. 370. It's 100 to 1 to sales, not earnings to sales. Hello. How long can you continue this game? Are you with me? 100 to 1 in sales. Very difficult. Very difficult. So, yeah, this again, none of these things. This is what happens. Market make a whore of a stock. Runs it, they're done with it, they're going to finish it. We may be approaching that. We'll see. So that's the stock I would watch. Fastest growing is definitely fits that candidate. Uh, I do want to look at Boeing here, guys, a little bit. Yeah, I watched the 747 history. And remember, I also worked for Warren Clower. He was head of fuselage for Northrop on 747. Uh, we did not do the original design. We did the production of it. They did the alpha article. We did the actual volume production with a software called Navstran, Northrop something something something. I worked for him. I've worked for two German guys. One head of 747, but it's after he's already done that. He was in the manufacturing technology, Warren Clower. And later on, he helped me another after he's retired, another company that was involved with. And then, of course, Mo Hesse on the B-2 bomber, original chief designer of B-2 bomber. So both of these guys changed our world. They really did. Anyhow, I remember Dash 400s and getting to rates of 7 a month. That was a great movie on the documentary about the original 747. We went intercontinental with that. 707 was transcontinental for U.S. 747 changed the world. About 4 billion people have flown on 747. It changed everything. So always have a soft for Boeing. My dad loved Boeing aircrafts, and there's nothing like Bill Boeing what he did. Yale grad what he did in Southern California. That's how Boeing started actually. Uh, Actually, Jack Northrop worked for him for a while too. A lot of aerospace history is in that one area down there in LA, including also Douglas Company, and then uh, McDonald, James McDonald too. Yeah. So what do we do now? It's come up here in Boeing. I'm actually good to see it. Friends asked me. I haven't looked at a chart recently, but still have to pause. It's very tame. You're right. One good way of looking at it is center line. We're very flat in center line here, guys, on a daily. On a daily. No breakout here. We're between +1 and -1. No. Okay. But it has improved. It has improved. Look where it used to be. Look at that. This is March and April. Yeah, it was really April was tough. But April was tough for everybody. In all fairness. Uh, let's look at AMD. I do this because it's being recorded. Some people want to look at these later. AMD is good. Um, man, yeah, I like the 50 bar. It's moving good. Yeah, you're in the channel. Yeah, probably you want to play a little spread there. I would buy like 180s, a little bit out of the money, and sell 200s, somewhere around the 2 sigma. Not too close to 3. Somewhere around 2 sigma on the weekly, okay? On AMD. Cisco, I don't care. No. This doesn't get my. Once they're done, they're done. This is the one stock that became true whore. They dumped them big time. Yeah, that and Larry Ellison's what do you call it, Oracle, gone. AstraZeneca. They may have tariffs coming in. Remember, tariffs on medicine could be high, some as much as 200%. And again, that's not the way to solve trade policy. But don't get me started. But I think something happened there somewhere. Yeah, so it's not. He's not computing well. Um, Pepsi, Texas Instrument. Let's look at that. Hmm. This not may be a bad idea, guys. Texas Instrument. Yeah, yeah. Buying 210s and selling like 230s. So it's a 10% there move, and you gotta be a little bit patient. So buy yourself a little bit further out, or wait. Put it on your list. Wait for, let's say, Yom Kippur. Remember, sell Rosh Hashanah, buy Yom Kippur. Uh, I know Yom Kippur is October 2nd. Rosh Hashanah this is high Jewish holidays. We want to go to this one. Okay, let's go here. And 23rd. So we should be really starting a drop down at this point if everything goes well. And then the Yom Kippur is on the 2nd. That I know for a fact. That's where we pull up. So, any questions for me? Again, my apologies for the technical issues, but how this happens. It's just we don't know. 707, yes, yeah. Also, you know that they took that aircraft, they did a barrel roll with it? Barrel roll. Yeah, barrel roll. Yeah. Turn like the inside of a barrel. They thought the wings are going to go bad. People didn't realize it from the ground. The photographers did not realize it. It had rolled by design. Can you make a wing that heavy on an aircraft with that technology? That's early aluminum technology, if you think of it, compared to now. And you make a barrel roll on it? Yeah. Scary, but they did it. A 747 is something else, especially the Dash 400 and not Dash 800. Yeah. And of course, 380 is dead. Yeah, they just can't make it work economically because you need such a longer runway. Can't land everywhere. There's 11, no, there's like 13 airports in the U.S. that can land. So if it's going from, like, say, New York to L.A., if something happens, you need to fly near any one of them at least if something comes up. Let's say nothing with aircraft, but you have a heart attack on board. You need to land where? Yeah, it changes everything. The other thing I think is going to happen big with airlines is that the point-to-point travel. Once we go on full GPS, so you don't need and you have a radar, satellite-based radar, you can go to point. That'll change our fuel consumption and time. Because right now we have to fly corridors where there are radar stations. But if they go to full GPS and sat-based radar, then you can track it from outer space. And that's no. The problem is that it's not the technology there. Technology in the FAA that has to change. What's on the ground? The ATC has to change. Air traffic controller. They keep on posting it back. They're kicking the can down the road. That's one of the most important thing to do. But not with this crew. I don't think this crew gets it. You saw what happened. We've actually had a spike in our accidents in FAA since the beginning of year. So we got to fix that. This is the most reliable sports. What do you transportation system. We need to keep it reliable. Yeah, it's the first time I worry about flying. Okay, and I've been my first flight. I was 9 months old. I have pictures. 9 months old. I'm not afraid of airplane. With it was a DC-3 Dakota, and I'm sitting it. I'm my dad's co-pilot. So I think he had he had to give some answers. Somebody asked him after, like, "What the hell are you doing putting your kid there?" But anyhow, because military aircraft, yeah, he didn't care. He flew for the show, so he knew he was safe. Um, and he was a daredevil. But it's the first time now that I'm worried about. And my sister flies a lot, so it's just that we've got to do a better job. One of the biggest mistakes we have done in FAA is to do, and that's some of the construction. They we gave up the right to investigate to the manufacturer. Okay, it's like putting a bunch of wolves in charge of uh, your sheep. I mean, just that's really really wrong. But to speed it up and for minor stuff, but no, we gotta keep it safe. Anyhow, enough said. Any other questions for me? Anything I can do? We will see you on our regular schedule on the 3rd is Wednesday, yeah, on the 3rd, okay, of September. 1st is Monday, which is Labor Day, which is a week from today. Enjoy that. Anything else, guys? Again, my apologies for today's session, technology stuff, but I've learned to be numb. Yeah, I've got 7 computers, 8 computers now. That's why I have many, because it's again, B2 project reliability. You have more machines, Chinese model, not too expensive. Have a UPS. Make sure you have redundancy in your internet and redundancy on your power. You're safe. 1 or 2 of them will work. That's good enough. Now the exception was that's when you try to put a webinar up and something else goes wrong. I don't know what exactly was, but we finally got this recorded for you. Thank you, Siegfried. You're quite welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, Gary, I owe you something. I'll look at your profile. We'll see what we can do for you. Dennis, thank you for showing up. Mark Caffrey, as always. Bravo. Michael, excuse me, another Michael we missed. Okay. See, I'm like, thank you as always, Siegfried. Of course, Tom, you're the best, Tom. Tom has been coming to these meetings, I don't know how many, at least 10 years. So, all right, we're going to stick to our schedule. Again, that Wednesday was out of my control. They wouldn't let me in. There was nothing I could do from hospital. Even though I had a Wi-Fi with even all that. The charts weren't there, and I need to have a lot of stuff here ready. I'm used to the tools and software and hardware that I have here. We built it. Again, we'll try to get a Ninja support, Ninja version of this up. We're waiting for a couple of more indicators, stuff like the stuff that we do not ship out. For example, SP2. We got a program. This is coming in. That's not bad. That's simple because we know what to do. We just have to rewrite it. I'll probably have it in a day or two. I thought I was going to get it this weekend. Other stuff work done. I had to tell my program to take a little bit of time off. We have to do Momo, and we have to do SP1. These are a little bit more complex. This is just data, and we could we're gonna see whether Ninja has it or not. Ninja, each platform has their own niche. They don't have everything, but we'll see. Okay. With that said, if there are no other questions, I'll. Easy, Siegfried. Oh, Jesus. Siegfried is a big proponent of Tico being taken care of. Just keep on saying, throw Tico a tomahawk. Now he says, throw Gary a tomahawk. Yeah, we can do that. Yes. Yeah, get it. We can send you a gift card. Not a problem. But no, you saved today, though. You did. Siegfried, you too much. You too much, Siegfried. Okay. All right, guys. Let me jump out of here because we're going to do a post process and they get posted for you. Again, keep an eye on the blog. That's what's going to be our information beat. That's going to be our the center of our information. It's the blog. I don't know why, but they tell me that's how this is done. I said, okay, fine. And we're paying for it. So that's fine. So I'm trying to follow what they're doing. I'm trying to have a little trust in them without asking everything. Give them a chance. But it came recommended. And so far, they've been on the mark. But they deal with two of my guys, Nancy and Larry. And it's not easy to fool those two. So I think we're okay. All right. Thank you all. We'll see you later on. Again, third. Enjoy your Labor Day and don't get sunburned. It is hot outside too. Yeah. Bye bye.